Now, for the cheap though, honestly, the $10 an hour is really not cheap in the Philippines. I mean, maybe for us it is, but for the people in the Philippines, that's actually like a life changer. When people hear, $10 an hour in the Philippines, we would assume it's a cheap labor, but it's not. It's competitive, a professional pay in a country where the cost of living is very different from United States. $10 an hour a Filipino is earning, that's an equivalent of a strong corporate salary, I would say. Even me, I I graduated as a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, but I did not pursue in that career because we're paid like maybe just $300 a month in the Philippines. So that's why I ditched that role. I mean, I ditched that job because it's also not my choice. It's my parents' choice. And then I like really admin stuff. So when I was hired as a VA, that's when life changed, especially for me and my family.
Well, and I learned that a long time ago. Uh, I went down to Cancun and they were cleaning the room as I was checking in. I had my wife and our best friends that were there. We're sharing a multi-bedroom room at the resort, and the gal was the housekeeper was literally on her knees polishing the floor. And I'm trying to get rid of her. I mean, I want to change my clothes and get out to the ocean and stuff. And I gave her a $5 tip in that. I had no idea that was like 2 days' wages. And that I couldn't get rid of this girl for the rest of the week I was there. And then somebody told me even the Levi factory where that was located there, they were making $2 a day and that. And so, I understand when you're saying that, you're paying $10 an hour where it's a big deal to the worker. Uh, uh, Although here, we may think, you know, well, that's not even a living. So
Right.
I do understand that part. Do you, if I were to come to you, how would the interview process go with you to identify my needs?
So first of all, we would ask if you already have a website so that at least we can do our own research or maybe a LinkedIn profile first, and then we can, during once we get into a call, that's where I could ask the right questions like type of industry, what's your expectation or VA, what type of support would you need, like skill sets required and all stuff. And for us, we don't just pair or match you with a VAs who's new. We always endorse only those has 2 or 3 years experience in supporting industries such as yours.
So you're not just giving somebody uh, a body, giving them a task. You're matching the skills that they represent.
Yeah.
I guess, and I saw Maggie had her hand up. But it's my curiosity is I don't want to become educated and go high level. You mentioned, I'm using that. The VA I have understands it. A couple other people that I work with are co-administrators on it because they understand it.
Mhm.
I need to ask them where do I go to find what they're telling me they did because I don't want to know. I just want to,
Exactly.
I just want it to work. I want to push the button and know that it
Uh-huh.
works. And that so what is your process to identify what my needs are? Because I don't know what I don't know.
All right. Well, usually, that's kind of like tricky because I cannot also like say identify if you're not telling me what you don't know. Sometimes, we could get those answers along the way. That's why the first week of catch up meeting with the client, and the third week meeting would make more sense, because that's when the VA could also provide a feedback as to, after working with this client, I think he needs this and he needs that. I think we can, position ourselves that, that the client would be needing like a new tool, or maybe someone else who has more experience with marketing, if his focus is really for marketing.
Okay. Yeah, because in looking at it, we all know that there's busy work that is essential to get done. But is that where I'm using my best time? I
Mm.
consider myself a negotiator or a salesperson, or bringing people together and having the discussion. I don't want to be doing all the social media and the campaigns, and even like, for the mastermind here, letting everybody know ahead of time who's going to be talking, putting it up on YouTube,
Yeah.
and that I don't want to do that. And that I just want it to magically appear after it's all done. And so I think that, for so many of us, we know that there's duplicatable tasks that have to be done so the business runs effectively, efficiently.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do it because that may mean an hour a day, 5 hours a day, just to keep up to it. And if I can
That-
get somebody, and I put, a $300 an hour value on my time, and I can get somebody to do it for 10 or 20 or $30 an hour, and that hopefully I'm out doing what I'm supposed to be doing, helping people with funding or distribution. And I'm, still making $150 an hour for my time, even though I'm paying people to do this other work. So I love the process that you're talking about. I think that so many new business people don't understand all these tools. And it's interesting watching. I was on Kathy's call just before this, and talking about speaking and how to communicate and how to let people know. Being on a mastermind like that, and you brought that up. If I had to be doing something, looking something up, and doing the research and putting it into my language, I'm not getting to listen to her, or I don't get to listen to Maggie talk about all the pitfalls of ignoring cybersecurity. So I love the fact that you're doing this.